My story is a really happy story because I came to Australia for love. I met my husband overseas and we fell in love, and I decided that I was going to come to Australia and see how I liked it, and I just happened to really love it, so I stayed here. We got married at St Joseph's Church and we didn't have a lot of money at the time, so a couple of the family members gave us the wedding photos that they took themselves as a gift. So after the ceremony we came here into the park, and you'll probably see the rotunda behind me, and that was where we had some photos taken, and they were just snapshots but they were really lovely. I have two boys, and when they were first born, I think that was probably the time when I decided it was the right time to take on Australian citizenship, because I felt I had Australian children and I had an Australian husband, and all the future ahead of me was going to be in Australia. So I made that decision and it was a wonderful thing to do. I still remember the day really fondly. I think because of my German and Polish heritage, I've always been really fascinated about the personal stories of the migrants that came out straight after the war and made their life in Benalla, and started off basically with nothing and turned their lives around and had achieved so much.
Okay, well, we come from a little place called Istria, and it was under Italian regime when we were in there, but in 1947 it became known as Croatia. Now at that time Mum virtually had to leave the country as a refugee. Had to flee the country, and I guess that was the start of making her way over to somewhere where she would be safe. There seemed to be a lot of organising, having to go to the administration centre, having to be told what hut you go into, where and then there'd be working out where you go to school, and then there'd be working out with the parents. My mother, for instance, had to go and work at the factories here in Benalla. There was a factory very close to the camp. Called the Tooth and Khalil. She had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Some of the menfolk went to a place called Renal Change, which is only probably about a 10-minute walk, so it was very convenient for them. People that left the migrant centre, and like George Gruszewski, he started off at Georgina's, and there was Cochinese. There were two Greek people that had Cochinese Garden of Roses. There were some other Greek people that had the Cosy Cafe. There was the Blue Pacific. There was just Christo's was another cafe. So there's probably about 5 cafes alone in the town. I think that the fact that the Europeans came here, they contribute to the expansion of the goods and services, and also the variety of food and eating, dining, and so on. And they also added to the I guess the zest of life, because they were a people that loved dancing, they loved music. And even here in the camp there, they had a cinema that used to double up for dancing, and they'd have their regular dances probably once a month, and everyone used to attend to that. And so I think they've contributed to what Benalla has become. Benalla's fairly multicultural when you think of it, for a relatively small place. Benalla the population has stayed pretty well the same for a long time, but it's a pretty place, and it's an enjoyable place, and people like to visit. I love Benalla, and I always will.
Those migrating to Australia all have a story to tell. Mine is a very happy one. But not all journeys to our great land have been so easy. Cambodian brothers Chan and Hoc Prat escaped almost certain death at the hands of the Pol Pot regime in the 1990s. After settling in Benalla, they have each successfully established their own takeaway food outlets. Both Chan and Hoc boast they have the best fish and chips in town.
My dad was killed in 1973, and my mom got to look after 4 of us. And no government support or something like here. You got government support, but over there you got to make your living by yourself. And like 4 kids, very hard for her. She worked very hard too. Yeah.
Yeah, back then in 1990, me and my brother just came by boat. We escaped from Cambodia. My mom paid for us for our life, because otherwise we're gonna be dead there. So we run across the bullet and come to the islands, sleep there a couple of days without food or drink before we jump on a small boat.
My mom sell everything to pay for both of us to escape. I nearly get caught on that time when I escape. If I get caught, I get killed too. But very lucky, we get out of Cambodia at night time with a small boat. And early in the morning, all the women cry because see nothing, just the water. Cry, and we spend a month in the sea. Oh, really bad. And then the boat is capsized in Malaysia, my boat, and everyone swim about 200 meters to the shore.
Oh, it's amazing. The first arrival in Melbourne Airport on the 4th of February 1996. It's make my life saying, oh, it's another world for me. Yeah, because it's totally different. People, culture, food, everything, yeah.
Very nice people over here, yeah. Really good people, yeah. Friendly, yeah.
I felt welcome to Benalla, and we got a lot of support, a lot of friends, and so make us impressed, yes.
Everything good, great in Manila, yeah? Yeah, very good, yeah.
We determined to live in Benalla because we hope our next generation is living here in a good future and good environment for him. So, and especially they born here too. So we choose Benalla to live.
Tilda Karali has been a tireless fundraiser for the Benalla Hospital and other worthwhile local charities. Raffles for her brilliantly costumed dolls have made an important financial contribution to our community over many, many years. And everyone remembers her delicious European-style cakes.
Because I was only 16 when I married, and we come out through a wall, this was very, very bad, 1945, February. We come out, and it was bombing all the time. It was something terrible. And we was in Germany for that 6 years, and we worked all the time. And asked him, he wants to go to America or England or Australia or whatever, everywhere. And he come home and he said, we're going to Australia. And I start crying. I said, I don't want to go to Australia. And he said, why? I learned in a school is have lots of snake. We bought 2 bicycles from Germany, and Mickey put it together, and he take 2 boys and I take 2 girls, and we went around the blocks everywhere. And when I see Benalla round about, I said, I love Benalla, I love to stay in here. I wish to have a house. I don't know why I thought about that, because we haven't got any money at that time much.
So I just think the fact that taking on a different citizenship is a wonderful opportunity to declare that you are happy where you live and you make a commitment to the future. And I was born in Germany, and nothing will ever change my past, but the fact that I'm actually able to choose my citizenship and declare that I'm an Australian is something about the future and something I'm very proud of.